go. Let's go. Yeah. K12 before and after designs in Canvas with Cidi Labs. Yeah. Making rad designs with Brad. That's what we're gonna do today. Okay. Let's go. Hey guys. Welcome to the channel. Brad Moser here, and we are going to make some rad designs in Canvas today using Cidi Labs. Full disclosure, I work for Cidi Labs, right? I joined their team last year. I'm a Canvas junkie and user for many years, but I'm just excited to share rad designs, especially things you can do in Canvas with some powerful tools. And more recently, I've been sharing all the things great about Cidi Labs. So today, I'm going to bring a little bit of before and after with my Canvas course. So let's go ahead and dive right in to the Canvas course. So we are in a live course in my Canvas account, and again, I work for Cidi Labs. So these things, are powered by the Cidi Labs tools, which I sell. Welcome to hit me up. You can DM me or just send me an email, brad@cidilabs.com, and I would love to share more about these tools. If you have other Canvas questions, I'm also a Canvas community champion. I love answering Canvas questions, and so feel free to hit me up as well, just in the community. All right, so here we go. I got a Canvas page. I just built this. I hope you like it. I got a header here, a little banner title, and some buttons and links to additional resources. I will share this link to this course in the description on YouTube, so if you want to grab that link and just check out this course on your own, you can. These other links will take you out to just some resources that we've provided. But Canvas lets you plug in other tools, some rad tools like Canva or Nearpod or Seesaw. Shout out to those tools. But you can also plug in tools like Cidi Labs Design Plus. So Design Plus, it's basically a design set of tools that lets you build out what you see here, cool Canvas pages. In this example, we're going to look at a couple of elementary samples, and then also we'll look at some 8th grade samples. If you want to contact Cidi Labs, you can use the little button below to do that. So let's go ahead and just dive in. I will show you a before page, then I'll show you the after page. Most of these pages have come from the Commons, and so this is legit content that you might have seen in Canvas, or maybe in one of your courses that you created. So let's just dive in. Here's the before kindergarten example. This one, it's got a page title here, which is Canvas, but then they used probably Canva or some other graphic design tool to create this text. Notice that it's an image, so it's not super accessible in terms of if I needed to change the name or I misspelled something, I can't just do that. And then I have, some other information down here for contacting, and I got a little button. So with our tools, we did a couple things. We added a page title banner. We removed the Canvas page title. We added a fun little image that's from our copyright-free image source. I popped in this thing called user details, which automatically populates my name, my role, my email, and then look at this. We got a little fun little getting started button for the students. So that's hopefully, a little bit better, easier to navigate. What's really cool is these things are screen reader accessible. So if I use the immersive reader, if I need to add or change or edit this for next year, you can do that all within Canvas. You don't have to go back to the third-party tools. So I know it's simple, but it's helpful to be able to have some of these design tools and not have to go to 12 different sites to recreate it or to edit it. Here's another example. Here's grade 1 doing some virtual work. This is one of those I do, we do activities. What I noticed here is these guys put these buttons. They're using an image, right? Which is fine. I'm okay with images as buttons. I used to do it myself But what they've done is they put this into a table. Tables are not accessible, and they're not accessible if you're using images in layout. They're meant for data. And so I would first want to remove these images out of these tables. The other thing you noticed when you do images and tables in Canvas is sometimes your buttons get crazy. So here's what we did on this one. I tried to use those same images, at least the first two images. I added a page title, kept the name there, kept the text there, and I kept the images, but notice I actually turned them into expanders. So rather than the button linking out to that video, I actually just tucked the video into this page. And now the student can click to expand that and get the information that they were getting on the other page, but now it's all in one spot. It's contained in one Canvas page. And then I made a nice little back to home button, which again is accessible for screen readers and all that good stuff. It also has this little hover effect for students. So it's simple, guys. I know these are simple examples, but man, they really elevate that experience for the students and making it easier, faster for them to get to the resources that you want them to get to. Here's a fourth grade example, classic example, right? In this example, they're going to click on these the website, which these are 3 different links. And then they want you to add that information into this Google document. So they made a Google document, maybe like a HyperDoc, something like that. And they got 3 links, which are basically almost to the same website, just 3 different pages on that website. So not a bad, way to create this, but what we've done is I took and just basically gave it a header, a banner title, so they know, right, which unit they're in or which grade, whatever. I gave this is called a call out. And here's the link to that Google document, a scavenger hunt activity. So that's still there. But those 3 links before, we just turned them into these large buttons. And then I used the Design Plus image tool to grab some nice high quality images that are copyright free. And then I tucked them inside of a button and made those buttons large. So it's a very nice way, a more fun way for students to be able to get to those 3 links. And this looks pretty, it just looks pretty. Okay, that's rad. Let's look at this. Everyone's got subs. We're in need of subs. Schools need sub. If you can sub, go and sub in school. If you can do it, just go and sub. And let me see real quick. I'm going to try and pull some music up because I feel like this is a little boring. Tell me if this is annoying. All right, so if you can sub, go sub. So this is a lot of information that they're using to provide for the subs. They tucked it away in Canvas, which I love that idea actually of tucking it away in Canvas. So what I did is I added a banner title for the sub, and then also instead of having links to all these resources, we put these into our little accordions with a left-hand pill is what that's called. So now you got all the rad information, boom, right there in the page. How cool is that? So that's pretty awesome. Little home button. This looks really nice. So that's pretty neat. Let's check out this 8th grade example. And for this 8th grade example, we have a Google document form, which is tucked here at the beginning. But man, there's some links here that could just get lost, right? There's a lot of information. I don't know if I love the use of the red because people with color blindness won't see that emphasis. So that's not a suggested way of emphasizing alone. Don't just use color alone. So we have a link to a Google document. We have a link to a website that they want to go to. Here's this really big, graphic that they're using. And then they have all of these videos that they want them to kind of jump through and another link here. So instead of this laundry list of links, here we go. We got a little banner title. We got the information tucked away. We've shrunk that image to make it a little more readable. And then we added some style to these headers. And I've got those buttons or those links, I turn them into these big buttons to kind of call it out. Like here's the assignment in the instructions. And then all those videos are then tucked away nicely in these little accordion expanders. So, this feels a whole lot more doable if I were a student. It's a lot cleaner interface, and I can quickly remember to get to record, the buttons to where to record my answers. So, hope you like that design. That one's pretty sweet. I can't take credit for all these designs, by the way. Did I shout out to Kenneth Larson, who helped remix most of these designs that you're seeing? Here we go, 8th grade example. We have a daily agenda. Do any of you guys do daily agendas? I assume you do. This is a thing. It's important to tell the students what you're doing today, what you did yesterday, especially those students that miss class, to have a spot for them to go back and say, well, what did we do? What did I miss? So typically in Canvas, a lot of folks will just make it a laundry list again. Here they got, the different dates, and then they got the information of what they did or within class. Okay, so not bad. It's not a bad approach. I probably would recommend using headers and things like that just to make this even a little bit better. But what we can do is turn that into some tabs. Again, I got my banner title, so I know which class I'm in. I know I'm on the daily agenda. And then boom, I got these sweet tabs that tuck the information in based on week. And now I have these call outs for each day within the week. Isn't that sweet? I love it. What's really cool is when you build this, let me just show you the back side of this real quick. So I'm in Canvas, you can see what you're building here, right? So you see you have a panel for week 1, and then you have these call outs, and then you have a panel for week 2, and then you have these call outs. If I select the style, I can come to the tab section. In here, I can, duplicate the tab. If I want to have another tab of week 2, rename it, week 2.5, whatever. I can move this around, so maybe this is actually going to be week 6. You can delete, you can rename, and then you can see a preview of what that week will look like. So there's my 2.5. You can also change the style real quickly. So if you wanted these to be maybe accordions rather than drop downs, then you can do that. So that's pretty nice. You can see the interface over here is pretty easy to use if you're a teacher who doesn't know how to do, styling or HTML. You don't have to. The Design Plus tools help you do that without having to adjust all of that. There's some other cool things you can do, like maybe I want this call out, maybe I want the style of that call out to actually be a full solid bar, and maybe I want it to be 50% of the page. So you can do some additional styling like that to get the look and feel of the page that you want. So, all right. So that's a cool example. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I'm getting into the weeds. I just love it so much. Here's another variation. We just used, like I showed you, accordions instead of tabs. So that's pretty slick. And then I got one more variation for you. This one is a little bit more, it's different, it's unique. Kind of build this as a calendar. And then we have a tool called a popover or a pop out. So you can see we got these little pop outs that have the information on the days that they miss. So kind of a clever way to present the information. Same information, just presented in 3 different ways. Here's a high school. Let's move on to high school example. This is talking about ecosystems, right? We all get into that biology class, and we have, a purpose, which is cool. Good job for just defining the purpose. There's some instructions. They're going to use a digital notebook. They're going to submit this as a cloud assignment to this assignment. And then there's another little call out here. Hey, remember, to look at slide 11. So some of that stuff could get lost if it's not called out appropriately. So here's how we revamped this one. Gave it a nice graphic to kind of call out that this is the ecosystem assignment. We got a purpose here. We're using the headers with some icons to really chunk the different sections. You can see the submission section. There's the instructions. And then we added that call out again with a little icon to just call attention to, slide 11 and the videos or whatever that they had to review. So that's pretty awesome. Another example we pulled in here is from high school biology, high school agenda. In this case, they are using a table for this data, which actually is not a bad use for tables. Again, it's kind of annoying if you shrink this screen. You know, the table will shrink, which is fine, but then you kind of get this long list, and this shrinks the cells pretty heavy. So what we're gonna do here is remake that agenda. We have a banner title. We got some buttons here to go back to the previous agenda and to the next agenda. And then we left it as a table. And we also gave some hover over effects so they can kind of, you know, focus your attention on the row that you're looking at. And we, you know, added a header row and a column row, which is important for the screen reader. So there is a little table tool to help out with that. So that's all I wanted to share today, guys. If you want to learn more, check out this course. It's linked in the description. You can use these buttons to link to our guides or contact us or watch a fun video. Yeah, there's a lot of rad things you can do in Canvas. There's even more rad things you can do when you add CSS and HTML styles. So check us out at cidilabs.com. And thanks for watching the episode of Designing Rad Things with Brad. I hope you learned something cool. I hope you found something was awesome. And I love sharing things about Canvas and designs. And yeah, let's connect if we're not connected. Subscribe and be rad. Stay rad, be rad. Thanks.